All right, traders, what's going on? We've got to watch this video here for Tuesday, May 19th, showing you the SPY daily chart here. Right back up and actually took out the recent highs briefly. I think we were up over 900 points on the Dow today. Not my favorite kind of Monday when you have the entire market gapping up. A lot of times you get kind of a boring day when it comes to the overall market. Here's the intraday. Look at this. I mean, you get these tiny narrow ranges. Yes, it was kind of a slow bleed up, but you really don't get, those big gaps to me are kind of my least favorite days. Having said that, had a pretty nice day today. I'm going to show you a couple of calls that I took screenshots of, so that's why they get top billing here. For those of you that didn't make it in the chat room today, ACB was one of them. This was just a textbook. As this was coming back down, I think I said over the mic. Either I typed it or I said it over the mic. I think I typed it. No, actually I did right here. ACB. I took a screenshot of all the ACB posts in the room. You can do a chat room search. So I did a search for ACB, and there is what is it? About 22 minutes into the session, showing you 2-minute candles on that chart. Typed out ACB 2's buy zone whole number flush, and I'll be darned if whole number is 15 right there. So you can see the line right there. As it's coming down, looking for that 15 flush, bounced right off the 220, right in that 2's buy zone, and ended up ripping from there. That was really nice, and a whole bunch of people took that. I know these pullback plays are gaining in popularity. If you're watching this and you're not in our chat room, we've got a free webinar that I tweeted basically talking about how we do these, kind of a short version of how we do pullbacks. And also the old Tokyo play, man, M-A-R-K. Somebody replied to this tweet and said, so wait a minute, you bought the volume because the company tweeted something? And they said something like, come on, like they're literally making fun of me because I posted this chart. And to me, that's just somebody who hasn't been trading very long, I guess, because I had Mark on a chart already because it had a huge move and then was down, maybe 3 days in a row. I'll show you the daily in a minute. So I already had it on watch. And if you watch my videos, one of the things I look for, my favorite thing on a bounce play, and meaning the type of bounce play that's been really strong lately and come back a few days, my favorite thing to look for is kind of a narrow range and an afternoon breakout. How many times have you heard me say that? That's my favorite thing to do on those plays. And what did Mark do? Narrow range. This is the opening candle. So this is Mark's high. I think it was $1.49. But a really narrow range, especially compared to the last several days it's had, right? Probably the last 10 days it's had. Super narrow range, and we get an afternoon breakout. Now, because I had this on an intraday chart, I was able to see the volume coming in, called a Tokyo in chat, and I clicked buy 4 times. And I got filled. I did market even because I wanted in so bad before it broke the high of day. That's one of the Tokyo parameters. I would have been perfectly comfortable taking the 150 break also because I already liked the daily chart. I knew it was overdue for a bounce, saw the volume come in. And by the way, I happened to follow the company on my tweet deck too. So I was able to see the volume coming in, glanced up and saw the tweet from the company at the same time. So like everything lined up. And that's why I clicked the buy button 4 times and got a huge percentage move there. Now, real quick, I said I would show you the daily. So let's look at the daily on Mark. So this wasn't some random me jumping in because of a company tweet, as that one person on Twitter intimated. It goes way deeper than that, okay? I never just, a company tweeted I'm going to buy. But I already had here's the move. 40 cents to over 260. Then I'll take today's candle out of it so you kind of get a better view. Right? Then you had 4 red days in a row on declining volume. So this was already one of my top picks anyway. Then I get the narrow range on the day. Then I get the volume in the tweet. And boom, I just nailed that trade. Dylan, by the way, if you're watching this, I saw you nailed it too. That's awesome. All right, so there's the daily. Anyway, let me go into the watch list. Well, BNTX is on the watch list. Speaking of great calls, there's the daily. So I want to watch this one for some follow-through tomorrow. Nice volume, strong close, huge move. But this one was called in chat by Kevin M. up there in Jersey. You had the high here, 54.75. It put in a lower high at 54.48. So basically, I'll kind of scooch over. So basically, you've got this cup and handle. We're looking for that big seller 54.50. And this was Kevin's idea. Half number inflection point with the high of day in red to green above. So we have a potential catalyst just above and a half number inflection point. Kevin's great idea was through 54.50. looking for a pretty quick high of day break and looking for that daily to break out. And I'll be damned if that's not what happened. What a great call by Kevin. I am gonna, now you can see it's kind of extended in the short term, but we want to keep this one on our radar tomorrow and probably the next several days. I don't know what to do with this chart. SRNE had this crazy move and then the gap up and then a nasty day. And it pretty much, the 2-day close, where it closed Friday and where it closed today, aren't that far apart from each other after like a $6 range on a $10, on reaching a $10 high today. It's bizarre. It's a bizarre chart, but because I'm a day trader, I am going to have this one on watch. Although I swear this one tends to, at least the last couple days, almost freezes up my trading platform, so much volume. mRNA, this is, at least for a brief time this morning, the best I could tell as a trader, was being viewed as the company that's going to save the world. So even though it gapped up and didn't hold the gap and sold off some, you're crazy if you're a day trader and you don't have this one on watch for the next several days. NNVC had a gap up, sold off, then a really nice 2-day run. Then it pulled back for a couple days, but kind of a nice reversal today, closing fairly strong. 5-minute candles, you see the big pop today at the end of the day. So we definitely want to keep that one on watch. VIR, excuse me, Wayne called this second mouse over 40 today, and it ended up going to 42.40. Really nice call there. I'll show you the intraday real quick if you weren't in chat. So he had this really nice move. Sadly, man, I saw this 35 break, and I thought that might be something. There was just no volume at all. Would have had to have been a quiet entry, which I did not take. But look at that 35 break, how nice that would have been. Anyway, so then it puts in a lower high, like several times, bumping its head on 40. Wayne called it long over 40, basically thinking that could get it through to the high of day, and maybe the daily will start to look pretty handsome too. And it broke 40 right there. And I don't know, what are those 5-minute candles? In about 10 minutes, went up a couple bucks. Great call by Wayne. Back to the daily. We are going to watch this one tomorrow. Possible continuation day. RMBL, penny stock, but I want to watch it because the daily chart still has my attention. You had this 2-day run, lower high. You kind of have a little version of a cup and handle here over the last week or so. So not a big fan of penny stocks, but I'll watch it. YCBD, nice volume and a fairly strong close, relatively speaking. We're going to watch that one. ZYNE. I like the daily chart. You had this pop back here. That topped out at 537. Today, nice volume for the stock, and went out pretty much at its high. So maybe over today's high, then we break through 5, and then maybe we test and break this 537. Kind of a handsome looking little setup there. UNFI, very strong stock recently, but you got a few day pullback. Looking for this one to turn back up. I wish this would get down to the moving averages, but we'll see. We'll see if we get it. Kind of like Mark, I'm looking for a fairly narrow range and an afternoon high of day break out of a fairly narrow range. That's my favorite thing to look for on these, but anything can happen, right? Only take it if it gives us an A+ intraday setup. VTIQ, very similar to UNFI and Mark, also huge move. 4 days lower. This one actually did get down to the buy zone before giving a nice intraday bounce. That one goes on bounce watch. And then KIRK, gapping up in after hours to $1.27. It looks like it was actually up over $1.60 at one point. As I'm talking right now, it's trading at $1.27. So maybe a possible gap and go there tomorrow. We'll add other gappers to this list as well in the pre-market, and should be plenty of good trades tomorrow. I'm done babbling. We'll see you in chat.